YSK do not mail small items such as thumb drives in letter envelopes. Why YSK? Your items are likely to be lost. Letter envelopes should only be used for paper, not small items. If you need to mail small items, pens, thumb drives, candy, put them into small parcel boxes or small padded envelopes. It has been at least 35 years since any large percentage of mail sortation has been done by hand. Nowadays, 99% of all letter mail sortation is automated. The automated sorting machines do not carry the mail in a straight line. To save floor space, the mail path has turns, carrying the letters around wheels that are about 14 inches in diameter. At this point, any stiff or bulky items will tear through the envelope and end up laying in the machine until the end of the day, or worse, cause a jam, possibly damaging the item, other letters and the machine itself. Writing things like fragile or hand sort only does not help at all. Literally nobody will see the face of your letter until it gets to your carrier, as he is checking to verify that the next bunch of letters is actually for your address. I am a 34-year U.S. Postal employee electronics technician whose job it is to maintain these machines. Every day we find thumb drives, bracelets, candy suckers, especially around Valentine's Day, in the machines with no way to tell where they were supposed to go. How the hell do the sorting machines read my chicken scratch? Thank you, and thanks for getting the mail where it needs to go. I hope things are better now than during the pandemic. So that's what happened to my Pandora charms that I sold on eBay that arrived with only an envelope with a hole, so I had to refund them all. I was cheap and used letter envelopes I took from my work. Should have taken the bubble mailers. Bought a Hellcat and the dealer mailed the red key to me in a paper envelope. The envelope arrived torn open with no key. This is the first YSK that has shown up on my homepage that isn't remedial, like you should brush your teeth. The detail provided is enough to make me throw things now in bubblers. This is also why you should avoid mailing wedding invitations with wax seals. Those don't go through the machines well. What's that, boss? Don't think, just deliver it? Don't worry, I'll put the ripped, empty envelope in a WeCare bag. Thumbs up. I need to send out literally hundreds of these soon. I was planning on bubble mailers. How should I package them instead? If you sign up for free informed delivery from USPS, you get an email in the morning with pictures of the mail you will receive that day. My friend mailed me my thumb drive from England in 2011. I guess I'm never getting it at this rate. I just knew that you had to be a fellow postal worker when I read this. This is actually a great YSK. I learned this when I was at camp as a kid, and a friend wrote to me and mailed a nickel in it. There was a nickel-sized hole at the corner of the envelope and abrasions that clearly showed it went through a lot, but the coin was miraculously still inside. Thank you for sharing such information. Thumbs up. I'm an MP and found keys in a DIOS machine today that somebody mailed. Up is 100 right, lol. Christmas is always a fun period at sorting centers. Cleaning the sorting machine twice a day because of chocolate and confetti build-up. Just wanna say thanks, mail workers. It's an amazing service and almost taken for granted. Print out the data as binary and then you can send it in letter envelopes. Might take a few, and the recipient can key it in to get their data. I've had drugs delivered loads in Royal Mail envelopes, so it's tight as long as it's not a hard object. I once got mailed a PS2 save card in a letter. The letter I received was empty with a PS2 save card sized hole. Thankfully, after contacting the German postal office, they somehow managed to recover it and mailed it to me. Tried to mail a key back to a friend after I moved away and forgot to leave it for her. The envelope arrived at her house with a hole in it but no key. Thanks. Good to know. What happens if it is inside a birthday card? That's good to know, thank you. You ever find anything freaky on the thumb drives? Worked at sorting facility for a little bit. I would get home and still hear ET to DBCS1, ET to DBCS1 in my sleep. LMFAO, I am a mail processing clerk. And I was going to say you're a maintenance technician without saying you're a maintenance technician before I read the last line LMFAO. And to note those thumb drives, candy, pens, just get thrown away. Also ladies, those prison letters you sending your man really do smell nice, I'm sure they will appreciate it. And prison inmates sending your Sanchez mail out. Your artwork is very nice. But it smears in the auto machines and sometimes it smears over the address and it just gets disposed of. Please make sure that your artwork doesn't cover the addresses. I have heard reliable stories about tubes they roll and dice, small cubic boxes that tumble for package sorting. I believe you. So when the post office lady tells me I need to write non-machinable on them, she's just lying to placate. If I'm not mistaken, you can get a certain stamp, or multiple stamps that deem the envelope non-machinable or something along those lines. This way the items has to be hand-sorted and will arrive just fine. It tear? ULTP mail small things in envelopes to avoid customs inspections, they will assume it's a thumb drive, not a small vial of drugs. We have known about this issue for at least 35 years. Should we maybe figure something out to remedy that? Nah. I worked at a place that did the step before automatically stuffing the letter and inserts into the envelope and sending them out. As per your example, everything is going through machine paths. You'll be amazed what idiocy marketing people can come up with. I think the site favorite was the Have a Brew on Us campaign that came with a free tea bag stapled to the insert. Virtually all the tea bags promptly exploded when the rollers picked them up. The smell was quite nice, the cleanup not so much. So can I get all my thumb drives full of porn back or what up? Sounds like the process is just stupid. You'll have incredibly advanced OCR to read handwriting and make sure things get to their destinations, but you can't read fragile or hand sort only? And would rather that the machine get jammed and damaged along with other mail? I'm sorry, but that's far too dumb and needs to be changed. Not that I'm going to do something foolish like put a flash drive in a paper envelope either, though. You would think there would be something to detect thick envelopes and kick them out, or a device that prevents the envelope from going in. It's pretty easy to implement. Let's say the envelopes are on a conveyor belt. You add a curved piece of metal above the belt at a specific height. Let's say 1/8. So if a fat envelope is rolling by, it will hit the metal piece and be pushed to the side off of the conveyor belt. Any envelope thinner than 1/8 will continue moving forward. It's like the metal bar they place at drive thrust to prevent tall vehicles from entering. What's your average salary? Asking for a friend. Who could have guessed mailing a thumb drive in a paper envelope is a bad idea? Wow, thanks. Physically mailing decade is this. YSK that I'm going to keep putting things like this in small envelopes because it successfully gets to its destination most of the time. The additional cost for being a parcel is saved every letter, and occasionally you send a replacement. Mailed a key on Tuesday. What are my odds? Okay, good to know. Bubble envelope it is then. If you don't mind a question. I'm thinking of selling off my comic book collection. We're talking a little over 1,000 of them. What would be the best way to mail them? I would be pressing them between taped cardboard slabs, but I never know what would be the best way. Well, please tell us. What the best cheapest way to mail these items? Tiny box? Padded envelope that's way too big for something so small? I remember a radio station contest in Tampa that had listeners send in cockroaches in an envelope. Lamau, they're sending a USB of nudes, I'm assuming cause of the V-Day part in the mail just for it to end up on the floor ready for anyone to plug in. Never had this problem where I live. Maybe a US only thing? Agree 100 because I worked the same job. Don't put rigid items thicker than 1/4 in regular envelopes. I believe that's the rule. If you ever buy stamps at the kiosk, It says this: